Good morning, retail traders. This is Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy where I like to talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And right now I want to talk about something that's been on my mind here since the end of last year and still is. And it's the way I'm trading the market right now. I'm being very defensive, catching knives. I do believe we are at a point of irrational exuberance. It's all markets up on speculation. I mean, things have changed for sure. We've got over the interest rate hikes, and now we're looking for the interest rate cuts from the Fed. Earnings were horrible, not that good. Everything's running on speculation of AI and the Feds. AI is a good thing. I mean, they get excited when there's job cuts, and they keep forgetting that we might go into a recession due to this here irrational exuberance on inflation. Inflation has not come down, not at all, none at all, none. They might throw their little numbers around, but it ain't going to bring the prices down on anything. So we're stuck with these high prices for many years. And it didn't have to be like this. It did not have to be like this, but the outlandish spending of our federal government, the jobs that they created in the federal government, it's not talking about the private sector. The private sector jobs are getting cut. So it's the auto industry's been totally messed up. We have geopolitical tension going on at its highest extreme that I've seen in a long time. And it just seems like we're getting nowhere. But that's irrational exuberance. People try to make something make believe, but I'm trading the market. I trade what I see every day, the price action. I'm not swinging much at all. I've only swung a couple stocks this year. The Bitcoin run, I enjoyed that. I swung them up a little bit, and then I got in Boeing the other day and scalped it the next day and got out of it. Not scalped it, but day traded it overnight and got out. So I'm not swinging that much. I'm just buying the knives in this market right now because I feel, in my opinion, after being here for 20 years, I have never seen a run like this take off where stocks are up 2 to 3 to 400% in 1 year. It's just irrational, and there will be a bubble, and it will pull back. So I'm preparing myself for that. I'm going to go through my watch list. I'm not being a Debbie Downer or nothing. I'm just trading what I see, price action and volume. And trading off the news. Earnings have not been that great. And I kind of expected that. Next quarter could be better, but we can't get these prices down. I know too many people that are paying way too much for chicken and beef and just vegetables. They're just crazy how the prices are. And I shop every day. I'm out there in the grocery store. I'm looking at the goods that I buy for my business. I'm just going, God, how can we make it anymore? So this is my new chart that I'm using. I've got two new moving averages on here. I'm using the 63 EMA and also using the 21 EMA, and I've got the 9 and the 200. I got the 9 EMA and the 200 SMA on here. It's like Netflix is a great example. Netflix from 285 all the way up to 579. So that's definitely a 100% increase. And you just don't see that in the market very often without any kind of consolidation. We did have a nice little pullback right here, and then she ran all the way from 343 to 579 in less than 4 months, in the 4-month period. So, I really question these kind of runs, especially when you have gaps up. In the movies, I don't watch TV. I spend my time on YouTube and trying to educate myself on stocks and being in the now. So Netflix, we're going to take this to the 20-day, 1 hour. As long as we hold that 63 EMA, we're going to be fine. That is a support level. that I can count on. If not, we can go ahead and pull on back to this lower channel right here, right around 533. I'm going to raise my support up to the top of that candle. And then I'm going to place another one. Yeah, I'm just going to watch this today and see if we hold that 53. That's 63 on the 1 hour time frame, and that's Netflix. We have Apple. Apple's never held its gains, but we do have a 5-day pullback to my support level of 187.36, which is definitely a hard support. If we can hold this, we can run this back up and maybe try to break that 200 on the 1 hour time frame, and that's Apple. Right now we're definitely on a 5-day rule where we pull back 5 days in a row. We usually have a little bounce back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. 4 days, then we got 5 consolidated. Now we're back down to 5. So yeah, this is a pivot point area at 187.36. That's got to hold. If not, it can run back down to this lower channel down here, right around the 185 area. Actually, yeah, 185.50. Just a little head and shoulders right here. That's that shoulder line, and this is the top of the head. Let me see, JP Morgan. Banks doing very well yesterday. All the banks had a good run back to my resistance level. JP Morgan is my favorite bank, so I'll keep a good watch on it. I didn't trade the banks yesterday. I got involved in my favorite SPX. And what a trade SPX was yesterday. It was just so beautiful. Anybody could have called that. Even my grandma that doesn't even wear glasses and blind probably could trade that trade. We got Eli Lilly. This is another one that's had a wonderful pop. If you just look at the year time frame, you just want to shake your head and go, wow. 309 all the way up to 647, so it's up 100%. We had a gap up right here. It's still a good stock. I'd rather buy it at support and sell it at resistance. So I have an alert set for 620.32. We did hit that a couple of times. I'd like to see that thing pull back and hit it again and try to find some kind of support or get to 656.70. Meta, another one with a great run all the way from 147 to 400. That's definitely a nice little run. You know what I'm talking about. This is Irrational Exuberance. I think it also needs to pull back some and consolidate. If you look at the 3-year, the weekly, we had a double top here at 382.28. I'd like to see it consolidate, come back to that double top, and then try to break the resistance. That's Meta. But if we start to break out, I'm going to be all in it. It's all about price action to me and what I see every day. I don't want to get too crazy on these trades at all. Not at these levels. I just can't trade at these levels. I can't. There's something in me that says this is very irrational. From $88 all the way to $382, that's up $300 in a year and 3 months. I just can't see it. We have to consolidate. We have to do something here. And pull back to that 382.28 would be a good spot to maybe pull it back up. Humana's had a big beat down. They finally got what they wanted. We're down here at a double bottom on the 3-year time frame. I called this out in the room, 357.39. We nailed it. We've had 3 black crows, so this thing going to run back up to around 391. We got Microsoft. Here's another one that's had an irrational exuberance. Called it off the 200 SMA on the weekly time frame. We're going to bring this up to the yearly. A run from $242 all the way to $408, $413. We got to consolidate, pull back, maybe bounce off the 9 or the 21. Maybe even pull all the way back to around 380, 383. Everything's just run too much in my opinion. Just the way it is. I got to trade like this. I got to do what my gut tells me, and it's paid off very well. I mean, I've been catching dives right and left, been playing expansion megaphone patterns. I mean, when they pull back good. The stocks do, and they're falling right into trend. Goldman Sachs had a good day yesterday. BABA, China, I just can't trade anything out of China right now. The communist parties have got me in a tailwind. Russia, China, and we got Iran killing 3 soldiers here just this weekend. I remember Biden, when he was running for election, he said that Trump was going to get us in a war with Iran. Well, 4 years later, look where we are. And I predicted what would happen. He's horrible at foreign policy. The guy's a crook. UPS earnings sucked. We had a nice little pullback to the trend line. We got to see if we can hold this here shoulder. There's your head right there. If we can hold support, we could run it back up a little bit and maybe find some resistance right around 150, 151. So earnings not been good at all. Amazon called this out. Been swinging this trade all the way up into my Darvis box. If you look at the 3-year time frame, we had a Darvis box here a couple years ago, and now we're back up in here trading that pattern. Hard resistance will do the pivot point right around 164.61, and then she'll pull back to the bottom of this Darvis box and bounce off the 9 EMA. AMD, we had a nice little pullback on AMD off earnings. Definitely a good little pullback on this. I traded this first thing in the morning, got out in it and out of the snake. Beautiful little call right here. Took that trade, running on up, got out at the double top. And then look at what happened. She went from 178 all the way to 180 or 160. It's an $18 dip. So things are just irrational. They're way up, way too high, and I'm not taking the risk. I just can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I got to keep telling myself that, because these knives are coming in are just beautiful. And I played more puts this year than I have my whole entire trading career in 20 years, because we were at irrational exuberant levels. I can tell by the way people talk on CNBC. You got some level heads on Schwab. TKO, Ed McMahon got busted. Sexual whatever. So we got a hangman right here. I mean, we could go ahead and probably run back up, but I'm going to be watching this one too. I'm not really in the mood to trade a lot, but just the ones that have popped up so hugely that they're worth trading. So that's it. I just wanted to get my point across that I'm trading a little bit differently now. I'm buying puts. I do believe when we're in a state of irrational exuberance, that stocks have run just way up too much on speculation. And the Fed is way behind the curve. They always have been in this administration. And it's just one big pump save. The money, they printed $6 trillion in 3 years. Think about that. I've seen this happen during the Obama years. They did the same thing. They printed $6 trillion. There was $89 billion pumped into the market every month for 3 years. We bailed out of every big company that you could consider back then, and we're doing the same thing now. It's called trickle-down economics. And I'm going to enjoy the run while we can. I'm a price action trader. I trade what the market trades me and what it gives me. And have a great day. Oh, I want to talk about the SPX, about how kind of a trade this was yesterday. Let's get into a decent chart here. This is what you got to look for when you're trading and the market's in a bull market. So this is the 1 minute time frame. Yesterday we held support almost all day long. I called this out in the room. I said, hey, man, we're keeping a solid support and we're finding a hard resistance. You can be able to scalp this up and down. Got a double bottom right here. I called out in the room. We hit resistance, got out of the trade. Then we had this little run right into the morning. Scalped it all the way. I mean, I was just scalping it for 50, 60 bucks at a time on the SPX, and it turned out to be a pretty good day for me. So it held trend all day long. Here's one example. I mean, this one here ran like 600 bucks. The SPX calls, scalping the 49.29, $3 and $2.55, and got out at 4.10. That's about the way it was yesterday. Everybody have a great day. I'll keep this on watch. I'm making a goal to trade the SPX and the SPY on a daily basis. I think that's all I need to do is just trade them because they're so pretty. The charts are so clean, and you don't have a lot of rigmarole getting in the way. If the market's red, this is going to be red. If the market's green, this is going to be green. And it's real simple. It don't have headlines. You know, it's just perfect. It's a perfect trade for me right now in this market, in irrational exuberance. I can't emphasize how easy it is to trade this stock right now. Everybody have a great day. This is Washboardjim, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And I explain this almost on a daily basis, the patterns that I'm looking at, and I look for the squeeze. Once I get into that snake, she breaks out, I'm looking for that pattern. I got to find that pattern, double bottom, triple bottom, inverse head and shoulders, falling wedge, symmetrical flag, ascending triangle, descending, whatever it brings, whatever it gives me, I'm taking that trade. Usually on the 1, 2, 3. Have a great day.